Okay, so this is Kelly, who came and trained. Well, actually, she trained elsewhere with another company. How long ago now?
Probably about 4 years ago.
4 years ago, and then obviously got to a certain point, and then decided to maybe stop for a little while, and then she made the decision last year to actually come and retrain with Katy and actually start again, effectively do the whole course, get all the latest machinery, equipment, everything, and train one-on-one with Katy. So we've just done our first ever client, because Kelly came a couple months ago, did the practice training with the mats and skins and getting to know the new machine and everything, and then she's just come back and we've just done our first day's live model. To start with, how have you been getting on over the last couple of months? Because obviously when you left your first 2 days, you've had a bit of time to practice.
Yeah.
We've had lots of videos for you to watch and tutorials.
It's been amazing. It's been complete game changer. I think having that going away and you constantly have that support still.
Yeah.
So I was able to go have a look at the videos, and I mean, being able to keep in contact with you guys as well has just made a huge difference. And for me, it's a complete change, technique, everything's so different.
Yeah.
But it's been amazing. It's been really good.
Well, we've just done the first client. This was a lady that just came and had her brows done. Never had it done before, never really considered having them done before, but she actually looks after some of our students, and she's got a lovely house, and a lot of our students stay there, and she's seen so many of our students come in with lovely eyebrows, and she thought, well, actually, I might go and get mine done. So she just came and had her brows done. So how was it like in comparison? Like, firstly, how did the treatment go, and then
amazingly, it was brilliant. It was so good. I absolutely loved doing it, and she was so happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, treatment-wise, it was great. It was a lot easier.
Yeah.
than I ever thought it was going to be.
Okay. And you've been through the whole process before with another company, so you've gone through the entire sort of training process before.
It's one of those days I wish I could rewind.
Yes.
Just do this.
Yeah, start.
From the beginning, because it was a lot easier. I mean, this morning it was like, oh, you know, the nerves and everything, but building somebody's brows up to something that was just so natural.
Yeah.
And seeing the changes, just because I think as you're doing it, you're thinking, oh, you know, is this actually making much of a difference? And as you step back and look at your work, it was amazing to be able to see that somebody can have natural brows. You'd walk past her in the street and you wouldn't think she'd got permanent makeup.
So only she'd know that she'd had them done, really?
No, absolutely not. And it's incredible. And it's one of those, I think a lot of people, I can see a lot of obviously clients previously that may not have thought about having permanent makeup. Now definitely would.
Excellent. And obviously you've got the hindsight and be able to compare how you learned previously and how Katy trains. So what do you think was maybe the main difference between the confidence you had from the last training, not obviously mentioning training companies or anything, but the confidence you had from the last training and how Katy does it differently?
I think one-to-one training is a complete game changer in itself. Where I trained before, I was trained with probably about 8 or 9 other people. And it was very structured of you have to do this and you have to do that. So if I had a client come in that had one brow that was slightly higher than the other, for instance, it would very much be like, right, well, you need to make them. It was so, I think it was installed into you that it had to be perfect, it had to be exactly the same, and the structure side of it. Whereas with Katy, it's actually enhancing what somebody's got, which I think is a lot less scary to a lot of people as well. Rather than thinking, well, actually that brow is that much higher, so I'm going to have to take this much off it. It balances it out amazingly just by doing what I've done with Katy. Just to, like I say, just that one-to-one training of actually seeing how I work, because everybody's different.
Yes.
And it's just tailored to how I work, and Katy will give hints and tips of things that I would never have thought of before. So I think it's very much when you do your one-to-one training, it is tailored to you, whereas when I've done previous training, it's been one box all kind of thing, which didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I suppose if you're training 8 people at a time or 9 people at a time, and you've got to teach them all how to do a set of brows, then you've got to ineffectively just teach them all exactly the same.
Absolutely, which for me, now looking at it, didn't work for me. It's everybody's individual, everybody's different, and it's made me realise that actually permanent makeup can be a lot more natural than what I was previously taught. And even just how I work with how deep it is into the skin, to what kind of look you can get, and how you can just adjust how you're using your microblade, for instance. You know, it's so different, but it's amazing. It's made me realise I can do a lot more than I ever could before.
Excellent. Well, that's great. And so we've only been here a few hours.
I know, I'm so excited to do more. And I think that's it. Before, I think having a client come in, it was more, I think I felt more nervous previously.
Well, I suppose before you effectively before they even came through the door, you had to do a certain set of eyebrows because that's how you've been trained. They've got to look like this. Whereas now, you know that every client that comes through, you can actually tailor the treatment to suit that person.
Definitely, it's really exciting to think of who you're going to get through the door and what their brows are going to be like, and working with what somebody has.
Yes.
And I think I had it installed into me so much that it had to be a perfect set of brows. You know, you had to have the same.
Yeah.
You know, whereas now, you know, it's not like that. You know, nobody has one side of their face exactly the same as the other. And I think with Katy, it definitely helps you to accept what people have naturally and how you can basically embrace it and enhance what they've got.
Excellent. I think there's some good advice there as well. So brilliant. And we'll look forward to... actually got your mum coming in later on.
I know, I'm so excited.
Excellent. So I'm sure we'll catch up with you again either later or maybe tomorrow when you're finished up. So brilliant. Well, enjoy yourself a well-deserved lunch break and we'll see you soon. Cheers, Kelly.